Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and it's been a while, but I wanted to create a video uh, observing the uh, life and uh, legacy of singer-songwriter Christina Grimmie. 10 years ago today, her life saw a tragic end. The reason that I felt very close to the efforts and the enthusiasm of Christina Grimmie specifically was not just her wonderful talent and her personality. She was also a native child to the South Jersey area. And my first impression was when I watched her audition on The Voice. I know a lot of people that live in the town that she came from. I went to school with a lot of people from that town. And the morning that I read the news about her passing, I was getting ready to go to a filming session in her hometown. That was already, we already had that scheduled, and the session went as it did, but afterward I put a tribute video together with Ari, and we also did our very first Music Week discussion about her song, my anthem. Today I'm going to be talking about another song of hers, which was released posthumously in 2017. It was recorded at Jim Henson Studios on April 4th, 2016, which was 2 months before her tragic passing, and then released as a single on February 17th, 2017, and then as video on March 10th, 2017. And there are two videos, one of which is the anime version, and then the other one is the lyrics version. The song that I'm talking about is Invisible, which has to do with somebody that is dealing with an ugly breakup and its aftermath, and trying to pick up resilience and inner strength, and just trying to rediscover themselves and realize that they are an individual in their own sense, and that they are perfectly human and have the ability to go on with their lives and make the most out of it. The way that the video, specifically the anime video, turned out, I thought that Christina Grimmie herself was depicted perfectly. She was dressed comfortably yet confidently. It starts out in what looks like a very nice looking condo. I'm not sure but she's looking over her. She's looking out on the city, and she has a hamster sidekick, which reminds me, it reminded me a lot of a character from Adventure Time. Not necessarily any specific character, but it gave me that vibe of Adventure Time. I was a little bit, honestly, disappointed with the depiction of the antagonizing force. They had it as some globbity glump. I thought that it would have been more beneficial to have the antagonist reflective of the subject in which she was singing about, and given that she uses the term boy to describe that, I was thinking more somebody along the lines of Prince Charming from Shrek 2, and then he also was on Far, Far Away Idol singing I'm Too Sexy, which was a highlight. But or more seriously, a male peer that uh, was that came off arrogant, but yet had an insecurity to him, because I think that the nature of the song is that it may very well go two ways, because I think that the person that she's singing about is not as manipulative as we may want to be led to believe, though I think that the song itself is very much an internal struggle rather than an external struggle. This song, Invisible, was written and sang by a subject that was just getting over a hard and dysfunctional relationship, and they're discovering four particular things. Number one, that they're resilient. Number two, that they do have an inner strength to them. Number three, that there is life and potential after a sour relationship. And number four, nobody should be invisible as a result to a bad and dysfunctional relationship. But the very first verse goes, and I quote, "I'm solid, not apparition. Better check your vision. See what you're missing, boy. I don't need your permission to go on existing with or without you, boy. I ain't gonna let it go, 'cause this been going on too long." This is a journey song, not a destination song. And I don't mean Steve Perry's band Journey. What I mean is, a destination song is like Toby Keith's How Do You Like Me Now, which I think it's a really great song. I think it's a really major confidence booster. But that's an example of somebody that has succeeded and is at their destination. Whereas the subject or the singer in this song, in this case Christina Grimmie, or the voice in which she is singing, she is a subject that's working toward their destination and is able to reach it by the end of the song. It's more, an example of a journey song would be Kermit the Frog and Being Green, where he starts out at a point that he sees an issue, but is able to work through it by the end of the song. And I think that we're at a point where the singer is working through they're in the process of working through their issue, and then they've accomplished mentally the issue that they've had by the end of the song, and that they aren't going to let the X, and because we're going to say it is male because of the frequent mention of the term boy. But the very first line, "I'm solid, not apparition," is basically her saying that she is perfectly human, and being perfectly human is the most beautiful thing. You're not somebody that just fizzles, or somebody that you could stick your arm through, or erase off a dry erase board. She is flesh with feelings that is just as much entitled to exist and prosper as the boy in the song. And one doesn't need to hide themselves physically, mentally, or emotionally for the benefit of another person, and this X is no exception to the rule. This song is strictly from the singer's perspective, so you could say that bad relationship does go two ways, but everybody's feelings are valid, so nobody is invisible, and nobody should be kept down. So it's not the way that she's singing it, it's not the fact that this boy needs to become invisible, it's just that this boy needs to develop more respect and acknowledge the fact that the subject to the song is not going to stay invisible for his comfort and his emotions. And I feel like it's been from this first verse that this has been an ongoing issue, and and it feels like that he has kept her down for quite some time. But I think as I began to think about the song more, I started to embrace the argument that this is more of an internal struggle, and that he had been gone and has kept distance for quite some time. Because when somebody breaks up, it feels like sometimes they blame themselves, sometimes they feel that they need permission to exist in a proper way, and that they can, that they need to, and that maybe they need to stay away for a while, and that's just in general, not just from the person that they broke up with. But there are certain people that are incredibly shallow and manipulative enough to slander somebody. But there are also cases, and many cases at that, in which one doesn't necessarily say or demonstrate directly that that the person needs to just cower away. But this is common. I think that the internal struggles that are worked into songs like this are common and can be, and all kinds of people can relate to. But the song also demonstrates the encouragement and enthusiasm to be able to work through it and come to the conclusion and develop the wisdom that you don't need to feel this way, and that you are still a special person that has the ability to reach for the stars and succeed, and life goes on and it has a lot to offer. I do like in the major choruses of the song, I like the use of the word ghost, because it's more of an accurate depiction of somebody having once been visible, but is now unseen in the present day, or supposedly so. And that's part of the internal conflict. It's not that the person never existed, it's that they once did, but have been written off in the mind of somebody else. In the second verse, this is a great demonstration of the singer working out their problems. It is, and I quote, "I had my suspicions, you kept me at a distance. I ain't disappearing, boy. I thought you were worth it. I'm pulling back the curtain. I see why I was hurting, boy. And I ain't gonna let it go. Now you see me with lights on," and then see me with lights on. See me with the lights on as a backup. Ooh-ay, or O-A, which I think I'm going to leave links down below to the song that I would encourage you to go check out, and you'll hear a much better version than how I am quoting it for you today. But at this point of the song, the singer is looking back and realizing that maybe they do have worth, and that what the ex is saying or has said as he went away and established his distance, perhaps these things were not true, and perhaps maybe I was better off. And then the bridge is, I won't be diminished, eclipsed, or hidden. You're gonna see my light blaze back to life like a phoenix rise, which really establishes a sense of assertiveness as to somebody gaining back their stance and their position in the world. And this position it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a famous superstar, but it just means that they are going to exist and mean something in the world. And that's something that everybody possesses. Everybody means something in the world. And it might be challenging in certain instances, like a bad breakup, but you still mean something. And if you feel that you're at fault, look at the faults and do your best to fix them. But I think that that's a very empowering bridge, and just the use of the words, I think that they were very smart word choices. Christina Grimmie wrote this with other people, but some of our best singers did too. Like Roy Orbison wrote many of his songs with a co-writer. And I think that the very last line of the song, and it's only repeated at the very end, is to life. I won't be invisible to life. It's the most crucial and important part in understanding this song, the emotion, and the direction in which the subject is coming. Because it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't be invisible to the experience of life and to the world in which we all share. They may not be, the singer and the ex might not be together anymore, but they're still going to share the same world. And that's something that they can either embrace or they can just have to deal with. And I feel that the singer here is embracing it because she's not letting it affect her. And that a bad romantic experience isn't going to mean that they shut off and become invisible to the world. And that life does go on, but it offers so many great opportunities that nobody should keep you from. And I will admit that, like many of other people, I've felt this way before. But I think that keeping a song like this in your mind works, because the way that I see it is that as you grow older and hopefully more experienced, you don't want to get even with the people that are making you feel invisible, but instead you want to live your life without any care or complaint from people that you feel might be keeping you down, and you want to do your best not to inadvertently do the same. I mean, I might be going off even greater than what the lyrics in themselves entail, but I think that this the root of this song is somebody with that eternal struggle and working, somebody with that internal struggle that is working out the feeling of invisibility and establishing that, yes, they do mean something. And I think that the sass, the flair, the word choice, I think it really gave this song a great deal of emphasis. And I think it really should have, and hopefully could still, uh, make its way onto the airwaves. In a way it did, but it would be great if it did even more. Uh, Christina Grimmie's best charting song on the Hot 100 was when she did her duet with Adam Levine on The Voice, and it was a cover of Someone That I Used to Know by Got Ye. But Christina Grimmie once said that confidence is not, they will like me. Confidence instead is, I'll be fine if they don't. And that can be applied to any kind of person. It can be applied to an ex. It can be applied to somebody that just doesn't like her music, or they just don't jive well. And I think that there have been so many people that she has meant a lot to. And that's what you got to concentrate on. There are a lot of people that you mean a lot to them. And it's not a sports game where there's a win-loss record. The losses mean nothing. The wins mean everything. And that's all they mean. They're the only things that matter. And it's not percentage, it's because nobody is invisible. And I think that with Christina Grimmie's music, she took on different tones, but a lot of her songs had to do with building confidence, building meaning, exploring the insecurities that we may have, but working through them and knowing that you're a meaningful person that has the ability to make a positive difference in people's lives. And her enduring spirit continues to do that to this day. And this song in particular can be classified as being about discovering one's confidence and knowing that not every relationship, be it romantic or even just a friendship, not every one of them is going to work. But that's perfectly okay. And I think that this song in general really, for the audience that it caters to, I think it does a very fine job. I don't necessarily listen to songs of this nature, but I really find them. I found this song intriguing, and I think she did a great job with her delivery and with the construction and the writing of the song, the word choices. and I would encourage you to give this song a listen. I will leave a link down below to the anime version. I'll leave a link to the lyric one, but especially the anime version, because at the time that I'm filming this, it's 36,000 views away from 1 million views, and I'd like to see it hit 1 million views. Hopefully, by the time this video is released today, I hope that it is at 1 million views. But if it's not, I'd like it to get there. I'm also going to leave a link down below to the documentary about her life that her family put together. It might not have a link because I'm going to have this ready to go before the release date. But once I'm able to get a hold of the video, once the video is released, I will share a link in the description. I'm also going to share a link to our Season 5 discussion of my anthem from Literary Gladiators Music Week that we filmed. We filmed it in late 2016 and released it in March of 2017. And I just watched it back over, and really, it was such a nice video, and we miss you, Christina Grimmie, every day. But know that your legacy to music has continued to make a positive difference. Thank you for tuning into this video, and for now, and as always, I encourage you to keep reading.